my phone is in one piece is literally the work of Jesus Christ himself.
Oh my God.
What? Welcome to the Easy Speak Speakeasy.
You've unlocked the door to unfiltered mental health and wellness conversations. So,
Dahyana,
Kristi,
we've arrived
we are here
at our favorite place.
at our favorite place, filming episode 12. I can't believe we're at
Easy Speak.
episode 12, by the way.
Episode 12.
It just feels like
What?
we've been doing this forever.
We're just like old pros.
We just know what we're doing, and we just be doing it.
Yeah, we know what we're doing so much that every time we're like, we're gonna start at this time, and 1 hour and 6 minutes later, we're like, finally, we're ready to start now.
And go. Yeah. So, okay, so you were in charge of our drink selection today, so
That's right, and
Tell
we
us
are
what we're
having a favorite of mine,
yeah.
a lemon drop.
Lemon drip, drop. Drip,
Drippity drop. Super easy to make. Check out our Speakeasy Sips
It looks so good and
on
frosty.
social media to get the recipe. Yes, I only do a half
Cheers.
sugar rim because, cheers.
Yeah, because, like, it's summer.
And I can't deal with all that sugar. It's too much. It's already sweet enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
right, baby.
Mm-hmm. That's so good.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, that is yum.
We're going to need this for today's convo
Yes, we are.
because it's a hot one.
It's a hot topic.
Super hot fire.
Super hot fire, and one of those topics that, like, I feel like we're gonna continuously revisit because, you know, it's just like ever changing.
Yeah.
The implications, and, you know, it's come to the forefront a lot recently, which is AI, you know, and it's all
AI.
artificial intelligence.
By the way, we've been talking about AI for so long.
Yeah.
And then ChatGPT
Yes.
dropped,
Yes.
which we should explain ChatGPT in a second.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, every single person that I know is like, AI, 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 AI,
I love
AI.
it.
And I'm like,
I love it.
but I mean, some people just have no idea what they're talking about.
It's true. That's part of why it's important to have these conversations.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's an evolving situation that has been coming.
Yes.
And now it's become, it almost feels like in some ways like this cultural phenomenon, which I think like we knew when AI really hit that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like this actual moment is
Yeah.
like the way people are just trying to lay AI over absolutely everything is
Yes.
like sometimes a little bit much.
Yeah.
In terms of
exactly.
people who don't really know what they're talking about.
Well, I think that's the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with AI, it's like the capabilities are just so amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about artificial intelligence, we're talking about lots of different things. We're talking about natural language processing, we're talking about robotics, we're talking about, you know, ways to analyze data and predictability, right? And like there's so many applications for it, like across the board as it relates to human existence. And you know, one of the things that continuously comes up is like its various applications. And of course, we always talk about mental health. And so I've been really particularly interested in artificial intelligent applications on mental health because there are just so many problems, a lot of which we've talked about on this podcast in the mental health space, that it feels like if we could automate some things, if we could leverage our technology and our resources, we could bridge those gaps. And so I, for one, am super excited for AI and all of its applications. But I've had lots of conversations with people as of late around that were very fear-based around AI.
Oh yeah,
you
people
know?
are really worried.
Yeah, people are really worried. And, you know, I think for good reason. You know, it's growing and shifting at a rate that is like far beyond anything else that we've ever created as humans, right? Like the way that it's changing and the rate is like way more than we could ever keep up with research, right? Like research studies take years, like just because of the process around them and setting up all the infrastructure and the data collection and then all of that. And so like any research study on AI, like AI could probably do on itself. Like,
I know.
Like it's
pretty wild.
outpacing,
Yeah.
it's outpacing our ability.
Listen, college professors are coming undone at a wild clip.
Yeah. Any professor, because I know if I was still in school, I'm sorry, honey, I am not writing a paper from scratch ever again.
Listen,
like
I'm
there's
like,
no way. There's
I
no
mean,
way.
for me, it's just like with anything, you have to adapt.
Right.
Right? So like, how are you going to utilize AI to teach kids,
Right.
young adults,
Right.
whatever, wherever you are, right? The same way when computers
Yeah.
first happened, you know, people were like, computers.
Email? What do you mean? How do I know it got there?
Right, exactly. Like, it's okay, put away the interoffice manila envelope, the
Yeah.
87 like
The
magic
strike through.
marker
Oh, I remember that.
things and
Yes.
like the cord that you wrapped around
Yes.
80 times. Like, now it's secure.
Yeah. Nobody can read this.
Nobody will ever get in. Let me put a piece of Scotch tape on the end.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's
I'm
crazy.
like, if Betty from the next cube wants to read that before she sends it off, she's gonna. Okay.
Literally.
Her email is more secure than that.
How many times have you done a little peeksy? A little peekaboo. Just
I feel like this was the other thing with like Zoom when like the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, can they see what we write in direct messages in Zoom?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, sometimes if you don't designate the
It's
right
like,
person.
be careful before you hit
Yes.
reply all.
Reply all is a nightmare.
Yes,
sometimes.
just
Yeah.
don't hit reply all.
Yeah.
Always go for just reply.
Literally, yeah. So, no, I mean, you know, with AI, especially as it relates to mental health, I think, like, there's so many applications. I mean, I can just think about it from a provider standpoint, thinking about AI helping with all of the documentation that we have to do that sucks up so much time, right? It's like, you know, if I tell ChatGPT like the basics that it needs to know about this session that I just had, can it generate a note for me that is accurate and, you know, that I could just pop into my medical record and keep it moving and I don't have to spend hours documenting anymore. So
Right.
there's like that aspect of it. But I'm like so excited for like the futuristic vision of like harnessing like AI and robotics for like therapeutic interventions or even for predictability purposes, right? Like with mental health right now, there's not a whole lot available to us for diagnosis, right? We've talked a little bit about this before, but like the main things that we use are assessments, right? You know, series of questions that have gone through some sort of a process to determine, you know, variability so that we can apply it to, you know, our diagnostic process. But like, you know, with any other ailment, you could like get a scan or a test or a swab to kind of figure out what's going on with you. But because mental health is so nuanced, we haven't yet been able to find a tool that helps us to do that. But like predictability, you know, in AI and like the ability for AI to like find nuances and patterns and be able to say, hey, this person, based on their keystrokes on their computer, may actually be experiencing depression because this is a pattern that we're seeing in this group of people, or, you know, I'm just making stuff up. But like, you know, I think that the possibilities there are really like at our fingertips. And I'm just like excited to, you know, one, I want to be on the forefront of that, but also to like see how it could really make a difference in our lives as a population. So like with AI, you know, there's been a lot around, you know, can AI models be biased, right? So where are you pulling the information from, right? If you were to ask ChatGPT a political question or politically charged question, how would it give you information back that was both accurate but also not necessarily biased towards one party or the other, right? And so, like, you know,
That's interesting. I haven't tried that yet.
yeah, it's an interesting thing. I haven't personally tried it, but I've listened to a lot of discussions around just how some models can be really biased and some models can be downright incorrect, right? So, like, for example, the article that prompted us to kind of do this episode today was about how there's this chatbot, an AI chatbot that was being utilized in a mental health setting, specifically around eating disorders. And a young girl who has an active eating disorder, so that's either bulimia or anorexia or some form or the other, she was talking with the chatbot trying to get some advice for, you know, eating habits, which is, you know, like the main thing when it comes to both of those diagnoses. And the chatbot was giving her dietary advice, right? Like, here's how to lose 10 pounds. And it's like, that is not the advice that we want to be giving to someone who's struggling with an eating disorder. But that chatbot was taking that information from the internet, right? Like, that's the information that it's getting. And so how do we make sure that the information that the chatbot or whatever AI mechanism is using is appropriate for the setting, right? And it becomes that much more crucial when we're talking about its applications as it relates to mental health or health advice or, you know, anything of that nature. It's really, really interesting to think about, you know? And so I think there's an aspect of it that is like making sure that people are aware of the limitations of the technology as well, right? And understanding those limitations will make a difference in terms of how we utilize it, right? So I never take what ChatGPT says to me, you know, as like gospel, right? Especially if it's information that I'm looking for. I will always double check it and read through the information myself before I then take it and utilize it in my own personal life, because I know that, you know, it's still learning, and, you know, us early adopters who are using it are helping it to learn more, right? And so when we catch something that's off, you know, one of the things I love about ChatGPT is it has the thumbs up or thumbs down, right? So you can give it feedback actively and say, hey, like,
is this useful? Or
yeah, like this,
you're way off base.
You're way off base. This is not correct. Like, this young lady has an eating disorder. We need to be giving her advice on how to have nutritious meals and, you know, like how to maintain a healthy weight and a healthy relationship with food, right? Versus like, here's how to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. Like, that's not.
I was looking up this article because I couldn't remember if this came out of the same thing, but I don't think it was. So I had read this when you mentioned this and we were preparing. I remember that I had read this article back like a month ago, but it was actually back in March. And it was about how there was people that were using this artificial intelligence app to create virtual relationships. And it was like, to help people that were feeling really lonely. It started off like during the pandemic kind of a thing.
Who doesn't want an AI lover?
Right? Secret lovers. That's what we are.
You know what the edit for that particular part of the video is? It's
oh God.
It's the like dreamy, like hazy, and with the hearts popping all over it, and like we're in a dream.
Yeah, but like a little robots.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny.
So they had this this app. This is an article from the Washington Post. I'll make sure that it gets linked in the description.
Yeah.
And so they made some sort of an update to the software, and the AI that people were interfacing with started like rejecting the people that they were interfacing with.
It was like, sorry, boo.
It was
I just
like-
got the ick.
Yes.
I
Yes.
just got the ick. I gotta
That's
go.
exactly what happened. And so these people who are feeling lonely and then feeling great about themselves
got rejected,
by AI. Yes.
That's
This is
bad.
Yeah.
That is not cool. That is not cool at all.
It says so. They were looking at all of the different data, but it says some users
Imagine-
were saying that changes in the product had been heartbreaking, and others said that bots
Sad.
had been aggressive, triggering traumas experienced in previous relationships.
Oh my God. Can you imagine the long
I'd have been like, I left.
text and delete that you send to your AI boyfriend who just like told you it's over?
And,
like,
and he's like, oh, by the way, I read that whole thing before you deleted it. I'm AI.
and you're like, well, see you never.
You're like, well, at least now you know that I wasn't courageous enough to send it to you, non-person.
Oh my God.
We're going down the rabbit hole.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
These are the fun conversations.
I think AI is amazing, but I also think that people,
It like with anything, there needs to be caution,
Yeah.
and I think
yeah.
no matter, I'm about to say something that I don't know that I fully believe in, kinda.
It's okay. Say it.
All right, let's see
It's
what
a safe
happens. Let's
place.
see what happens
It's
as
a
it
safe
rolls off
place.
my tongue.
it.
I can rolls off
Roll it.
my tongue, darling. I think that like nothing can just be run fully by technology. Like human beings need to have some sort of a hand in things.
Oh my God, you believe that?
No.
Okay.
That's why I
I'm shocked. You're the one that's like, nobody really ever wants to do anything.
What, you're shocked? You're shocked?
You're like universal basic income and everybody just chills and let the machine live.
Excuse me, Yang 2020 or whatever year it was that he ran for president. Make sure we hashtag Andrew Yang.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. Yang gang.
No.
It's not a political statement.
It is.
It's not. It's about somebody who knew AI was coming and was
Yeah.
saying it years and years ago.
Okay.
And instead,
So many people were,
Meow.
but we're not calling them out. But that's fine.
But the point is, I don't fully believe what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think there is like a certain, like with something like this, right? Like human beings were interfacing with this. Did you get a little lemon peel?
I'm fine.
Are you okay?
It's fine.
This is what happens when you drink alcohol.
Something was on my lip. It's fine now.
Like for something like that, like human beings still have to intervene at
what?
this particular point in time.
Yes, right now we are nowhere near ready.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who are saying we should never let that happen because if AI takes over,
Right.
we're,
Like machines don't have compassion. Machines don't have
empathy.
empathy.
Yeah.
Right. And so in that sense, like they'll never be able to replace like the connection that you and I have.
Right.
Right.
So like an AI therapist.
Right. Like, listen, when the first AI podcast drops, are we going to listen to it? Fucks yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
like,
two
is it going
robots
to be
talking to each
interesting? I don't know.
Maybe.
It might be, or like
I
the
think
first 5 minutes might be, and then like their conversation might go so
True.
like deep mind that we're all like,
True.
everybody get a bottle.
But I think one of the fatal flaws of human beings is that we ascribe too much importance to ourselves.
To ourselves? Oh,
And-
well, that's for sure.
And like and like we think we're such complex creatures, but like at the end of the day, like it's all energy and knowledge, and our own human brains can only have a certain capacity. But that's the thing that a lot of people who are fearful of AI have been saying, is that, and there are some scientists who are like really like screaming at the top of their lungs, like we need to stop, because like the direction this is going in, like if we were all benevolent human beings who were like, you know, and the only information that AI was getting was that of compassion and empathy and puppies and rainbows and love and light and healing, like we'd be fine. But that is not the only information that it's getting, right? Like the dark internet exists, and
the dark web
exists, and dark people exist, and you know, and so they're also part of the information feeding and sharing mechanisms. And so like, you know, people are saying like we need to either stop and reevaluate, you know, before the train has left the station. Yeah, the train has left the station for sure. Yeah. But it's like, okay, so how do we make sure that like AI doesn't get access to the nuclear codes? Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know like the mechanisms and all the defenses, and I'm sure.
I feel like this is the time that we should say, if anybody is feeling anxiety, that you can always call 611. Is that the number?
988.
988 611. Let me take another sip of this lemon drop. I don't even know who you'd call if you called 611.
ChatGPT would have gotten that correct.
That's correct. See? To err is to be human.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of implications, but specifically as it relates to mental health, just to bring it back a little bit.
Just to
rein it in.
Wrap around.
Just wrap it around and bring it back. AI and mental health, I think there's lots of applications, and you know, I would love to be able to, as a provider, be able to be at home, wear a little AI headset.
A little AI headset?
A little AI headset. A little metaverse situation that projects me into a room, and then my client is at home and able to do that, and we're together apart.
Yes.
Right? And like,
look at you with your COVID slogan. You can't steal that one. It's already been used by the pandemic.
Who used together apart?
Everybody during COVID.
They said together apart.
I know that you were trying not to participate in COVID times, but together apart was definitely a hashtag.
It was?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Well, clearly I didn't. It entered my subconscious at some
Michelle in
point.
the booth, she missed that completely.
I missed it. Together apart, who said that ever?
They had literally like a whole fundraising concert.
Who's they?
I don't know. A bunch of musicians and people.
Oh.
There was like a huge fundraising concert, and like I'm pretty sure that was like the name of it.
It was like the Michael Jackson thing where they all sang that song together. You know what song I'm talking about?
We Are the World?
Yeah!
You know I know it. It was written by Lionel Richie! Oh, getting hot.
Oh my God.
Let's also hashtag Lionel Richie. The podcast
better known as Zaddy. If you ever hear Kristi refer to as Zaddy, that's who.
I need a fan.
Oh my God, get your life.
Hey, Capture.
She's like,
I know. She's like, this is how I pose whenever I hear Lionel Richie's name.
Capture's like, hello. Is it me you're looking for? Okay. Who knew AI was such a silly topic?
It's not silly. It's just the way that Lionel Richie makes every woman feel. Michelle, are you okay in the booth?
She's like, yeah, I'm completely fine, actually.
She's like, she's over there like, ChatGPT, who's Lionel Richie? Michelle knows who Lionel Richie is. I could tell she was brought up right. She was growing up in her house, cleaning, listening to Lionel Richie. I feel like that's the kind of house
said
she was
yeah.
from.
She said yeah.
Yes, I know. Your
Yep.
mama knows what's up.
Nobody wants to hear that. I want to hear any reference to my mom knowing anything about anything being like that. Moving on. Okay, how old I
Okay,
get?
wrapping back around.
Wrapping back around to AI and mental health. So, do we mind the machine?
I don't mind the machine.
I don't mind the machine.
Does the machine mind us? That's
Absolutely.
a different question.
It totally does.
I do want to say,
Okay. Indubitably. I do, indubitably,
I do,
want to say
that last night when I was laying in bed, I was like, let me put in a bunch of prompts into ChatGPT about mental health and see what comes up currently.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And it was not good.
Oh, okay.
It was just like,
What were your prompts?
I mean, what I tried to do was put in prompts that somebody who didn't have a lot of experience with AI, which is most people right now,
Yeah.
about 14% of Americans, they're saying, have tried AI.
Oh, wow.
And most of those people are probably in tech.
Right.
That's like,
Right.
So
they all live in Silicon Valley.
most people would very likely enter in information the way that they would enter it into a
Google.
search engine.
Right.
So
Right.
for listeners, entering in a prompt is like a certain way that you write things so that you get,
So you generate
the
the information.
information that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But people are used to Google searching.
Right.
So that's how I entered things in because I feel like that's where people are going to start.
Okay.
Okay. So let me tell you, Mark. Here comes a sound bite. This might be
Here comes a sound bite.
this might be the first podcast episode where I actually go off a little bit.
Oh.
Because I was actually
He said the first.
Have I gone off on the podcast previously?
What does off mean? That's what I want.
Woof.
What is off?
I don't know, on a little mini rant.
Oh.
I haven't really gone off.
Okay, okay, no, you haven't. So what's
Diana, you know what it looks like when I go off.
shoot it?
So
Story time for another time.
The story time for another time that will never be on the set. Okay, let me go back to my little history
It's called
because
Unfiltered AF. One day, maybe episode 100.
maybe. Oh, listen, that if that happens, and that means a lot of things I've been praying for have been happening. Okay, so here we go. So I put, help me find 10 therapists near Cambridge for my 18-year-old black son of people that have openings.
Oh wow, that's a tall order.
Well, that's what people are looking for. Nobody
Okay.
wants to be on a wait list.
True that.
These
Okay.
wait lists are, I'm already starting. I can already feel my blood boiling.
I know.
Okay. And so it was like, I'm here to help. And then it was like, I recommend using these online directories.
Psychology Today.
Psychology
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Therapy Den.
Yeah.
And Open Path Collective.
Wow.
So I asked for 10 and they gave me 3 and it was only 3
Directories, not even
directories,
people.
like
Yeah.
other websites.
Yeah.
And I was like,
But if you're looking, like, okay,
if I've done any looking, I've already been to these places.
that's true. Right.
Like if I was like, oh, I'm going to try AI because this is the up and coming shit
Yeah.
and I got this, I
Yeah.
would have thrown my phone against the wall.
Right.
It'd been like, nobody's ever going to help me out my son.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So then it gives some little disclaimer about remember to contact therapists directly to inquire about their availability
Yeah.
and your specific needs and think about your insurance coverage. Okay, great. So then I was like, well, I'm going to go down lived experience coaches because this is like the highest need. So I said, help me find other moms like me who know what it's like to be raising a child with mental illness, which I think is probably what most people would put in. And it generated me 4. It said, finding a community of other parents who understand what it's like to raise a child, can provide valuable support. Here are some suggestions. Online support groups.
That's what it didn't even send you to a group. It just said.
Like in the paragraph, it's like inspire.com, dailystrength.org. I'm like,
Okay.
bleh.
Okay.
And then it was like local parent support organizations. And then like inside of the paragraph, it said NAMI, but didn't even give their
The full name.
website.
Yeah, or like what NAMI even stands for.
It did say what NAMI stands for.
Okay.
But like NAMI is a national.
Yeah.
So like there's actually more work to do
To
get to your local chapter.
Yeah.
And then social media groups.
Yep.
Good luck finding all the closed groups if you have no idea that those things exist.
Yep.
It's like search for relevant keywords.
Yeah.
And then therapist and pediatrician recommendations. And I'm just been waiting for a therapist or pediatrician to recommend a lived experience coach.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah. No, well, nobody knows what they are,
10%.
which is part of the challenge.
Exactly.
So if
But
nobody knows what
listen,
they are, AI doesn't know what they are,
here's
which is interesting.
Where I should finish my drink before I throw my glass across the room.
Yes, please.
Here's the mother effing coup de grace.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
At the end of this, was it this one? No. Okay, so that's like, good luck with your online communities, basically. So then I was like,
Good luck.
help me find lived experience support. I'm like, all right, let me get like a little more
Simplified.
specific.
Yeah.
Lived experience support in the mental health field.
Yeah.
Certainly, if you're looking for lived experience, 1, peer support specialists. Explains what they are and contact your local mental health clinics or organizations to inquire about availability. That's helping no one. Like, what organization
Yeah.
do you say? Then it talks about certified peer specialists, which is essentially the same thing as number 1.
Yeah.
They just have a cute little piece of paper that says, I'm certified.
Yeah.
Okay? They're like, for this, you can actually search certified peer specialists, which, by the way, if you search certified peer specialists, it's going to go, want to become a certified peer specialist?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Then mental health advocacy groups, like NAMI, still no website, and online communities and forums again. So I was like, okay, this generated the same like response.
Yeah.
So this made me feel like we are doing a good thing in the world with Pearls in our Pearl program and lived experience coaches, because obviously nobody is like effectively communicating this throughout the World Wide Web for this
for AI to be able to pick it up. Yeah.
Here's the motherfucking coup de grace.
Okay, here it is.
Here it is, coming in hot.
Okay. Oh boy.
Remember,
Comma.
while lived experience support can be valuable, it's important to consult with a trained mental health professional
I know
for
that pissed you off.
specific guidance and treatment. Lived experience support complements professional care, but should not replace it. The fact that my phone is in one piece is literally the work of Jesus Christ himself.
Oh my God.
What?
But also, we knew that.
I don't want to hear your words, Diana, if that's what they're going to be.
I'm just saying.
We knew what?
This is part of our work.
That it's so deeply embedded that large language models are already like, here's some fucking stigma, ho.
Yes.
I don't like, literally.
That's part of our work.
So I was like, okay, maybe like we just don't understand. And I was like, let me give this little bot the benefit of the doubt.
This little bot.
I'm like, let me give this little bot the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to scoot to something else that we know everybody knows.
Yeah.
I'm like, help me find lived experience support for alcoholism.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, if you're searching for lived experience for, overcoming alcohol addiction, number one, AA, which we know would come up first.
Yeah.
Right? Beautiful description. AA.org is in there. Perfect.
Yep.
Smart Recovery is in there. The website, everything.
Yep.
Sober Grid, in the rooms, all of these things are in here.
Yeah.
Now, this is what done further is, I don't even know what's more than a coup de grace. Me flipping this table over and saying coup de grace at the same time? I don't know.
Let me take my drink up.
Then it says, remember. What was that thing you said when I put my finger up the last time?
Indubitably.
Remember, while lived experience support can be beneficial, it's critical to seek professional support as well. Consider reaching out to addiction counselors, therapists, treatment, and guidance on your recovery journey. Mm-hmm. So, to me, the language between those two are so far apart.
Yeah, one is like, this isn't even a real thing, like, get real help. And this is like, you might also want to think about.
Right. This is like,
help.
It's crucial to seek professional help as well. Consider reaching out to an addiction place. Up here, it's like, while lived experience support could be valuable, it's important to consult a trained mental health professional because lived experience support complements professionals. No.
I know that's not how we view it.
That's a hell no, though.
That's the hill that we've been climbing for the last however many years it's been since we've been building Pinnacle. We know this; it's deeply ingrained.
I want to tell you what I'm gonna be doing. Okay. I'm gonna be putting this prompt back in, and every time it comes up, I'm gonna keep giving it a thumbs down.
Yeah. It needs that feedback, and it also needs us to build some sort of AI plugin.
Yes.
That helps to bridge, because what's happening in that prompt.
I can feel how red my face is right now.
It's not even that red. It could get redder. But I'm just saying, like
like what? To the point where steam comes out?
Yeah.
I was so fucking pissed at that.
I know.
It's the same concept. Lived experience coaching.
Yeah.
It's that peer support of utilizing somebody's journey in their life to support somebody else.
Yeah.
In mental health, in substance abuse recovery, in alcohol recovery, like no matter what the circumstance is.
Yeah.
In parenting journeys, like wherever it is.
Yeah.
In the concierge, when you go to a hotel and you're like, hey, where do I go that's good to eat?
Yeah.
That great restaurant isn't because that guy went to Harvard.
Right.
It's because he's lived in that neighborhood.
Right.
Right? Like, this is so frustrating to me that, like, we continuously downplay these critical roles.
Yeah.
And now we even have new technologies coming out that are adapting them because we've been downplaying them across the internet and everywhere else for so long that's the information that it's pulling.
It has,
and it just makes me be like, so when do you want to go to Washington, D.C.?
I know.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Anybody want to go on a field trip?
Field trip. White House. But you know,
Nobody raised their hands. They're all like, not with you in this mood.
Our entire studio audience.
Everyone.
Studio audience?
Yes. Who wants to come? Why'd you come then? But no, I share that frustration with you because ultimately, like, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot as a society when we're not opening our minds and our infrastructures and our systems to include the things that would help us get through that gray area that mental health lives in, right? Like, lived experience is inherent nuance. Like, you just inherently understand it. And it's, everything else is like very black and white. And I think what you're talking about is, essentially what we've been talking about in terms of the limitations of this technology. It's still living in a very black and white world. And, as it learns more and as we feed it more information, then over time, hopefully it'll become a little bit more nuanced. And, I think for us, the work has always and continues to be, especially as it relates to nuance in mental health and lived experience coaching, is we do a lot of teaching, right? And helping people to understand the value, because it's not something that...
My drink is staying back here.
Yeah, it's just not something that people automatically understand as a concept. And we've knocked on many doors and had many doors shut on us because we were coming from a lived experience perspective. And the questions that
They're like, but where are the degrees?
Yeah, where do they go to school? And like, are they quarried? Because all of a sudden, because somebody didn't go to Harvard, then we need to make sure that they're not a criminal. And it's like...
Yeah, then they must have went to jail.
Yeah, they didn't go to school, they went to jail then.
I'm like, there's a lot of other options.
We're like... So, yeah, but I also, in hearing what you're saying, for me, I see a wide open business.
Yeah, we've known that we have the opportunity to really change mental health care and fill in all of these gaps, right? So many people that will listen to this will be people who are currently sitting on a wait list, and they could be working with somebody with lived experience that could help them get on to additional wait lists that maybe could be faster, but also there are so many other types of things, right, that aren't just these online communities or when you request 7. This is so indicative of mental health. You ask for 10 resources and they give you 3.
Well, that's because there are only 3. And so everyone, just make sure to check back in with us in a year, because we will have solved this problem. Putting that out into the universe.
Yes, slay. We'll be doing this podcast not here.
Nope, we'll be like, so we made an AI plugin that helps people get to...
we'll be like, you guys, it looks like we're recording in our old place, right? And then it'll go and we'll be on a beach.
Yeah. We're on a beach now, and you all know what lived experience coaches are.
And we'll be like, and these clothes are super hot, by the way, to be filming on this beach.
Oh my God, there's so many things about AI we didn't even get a chance to get to.
No, this is definitely going to be something that we have to come back to.
Revisit.
But I think that the point is, even though I feel like we've said a lot of things that are challenging about it, it is something that we use every day and has definitely helped us in terms of our productivity, in terms of how we have been able to help to create better systems that families can come behind, and that the people who are looking for services with us, it's helping us to move more quickly. And so because of that, we're going to be able to help funnel people into services and the appropriate services more quickly. And I think that is sometimes how change happens, is it doesn't always start, unfortunately, with the people who it's directly serving. But I think for us, we're really trying to have the people around us really adopt AI. I mean, everybody who works for us, we're like, did you use AI today?
Yeah.
How did you generate that?
They're like,
did you do it in 10 seconds or 10 hours?
Can you send us a blurb? And we're like, put a prompt in. And then if you're still having a hard time,
We're like, here's a little outline of how to build a prompt.
yeah.
Call me back later.
Yeah, that is one key takeaway. Like, your output is only as good as your input. And I think that's like a good metaphor for life
Totally.
and mental health.
Get out what you put in,
Yes,
baby.
yes. So I'm excited. I think that
I am
there's
too.
so much possibility in this realm. And, you know, if we can use our collective energies to create something that's going to make a difference for us, like fundamentally and culturally, you know, I think that's going to make a huge difference. There's so many people struggling with mental health and not enough resources right now. So anyway,
And we only talked about really ChatGPT.
Yeah, there's
but
so
there's
many.
lots of other
So many
types
things.
of AI.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, for people who are interested, you know,
Start Googling. Start searching it on TikTok. Your
Yeah.
For You page will be curated with AI. Trust
yes,
me.
you put
That's
in
all I see.
and the hashtag like AI or artificial intelligence on
Yeah.
TikTok or Instagram, maybe Facebook. I don't know.
I don't know what Facebook's
I haven't
doing.
spent much time on Facebook around AI.
Yikes.
But I've learned a ton from TikTok and
TikTok,
Instagram. I
Instagram,
mean, that's
yeah.
really
YouTube,
how
of course.
YouTube.
YouTube University is still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is definitely places where you can learn. But I think we're definitely going to continue circling back
Yeah, for sure. we have
because,
to.
you know, one of the things that is important to us is making sure people can access services quickly.
Yeah.
And we don't know all of the services everywhere. And so if we can help people funnel the services more quickly wherever they're listening from, then I think that's one of the things we're always going to try to arm people with is that information.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm glad my rant is over.
Take a breath.
Note, I never put my drink down.
Take a drink. This is the most I feel like you've drank of your drink during an episode. I'm usually like,
I was really pissed about that lived experience
yeah,
thing.
I know.
I'll play around when it comes to that.
I know. I know.
Really gets me going.
Really gets me going.
Really.
It keeps the people going. What is that from? Oh,
What?
that song. Jay-Z and Kanye. Edwards in Paris.
Hashtag Kanye.
Oh my God.
I bet Kanye uses AI.
Totally. He uses AI to design every
1,000.
piece of ugly clothing he designs. She's just gonna skirt by that shade. It's fine.
I don't care.
I don't care.
You call it ugly. You wear a dress every day.
Yeah. I do. I've never once been called ugly in a dress, I'll tell you. But I also don't have a tire hanging around my neck. Did you see that?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe that's why.
I'm too busy learning about AI lately.
I know it is.
I'll go check out what Kanye's doing later.
Shows up. Anyway.
All right, we've come to the end of
Yes,
this
I think so. For now.
for now.
We'll be coming back to this topic, but I guess the consensus is
Consensus?
consensus is our consensus is that neither of us mind the machine.
No, I love
So,
it.
We'll revisit this at a later date.
Yep,
And don't forget to subscribe,
yep.
rate,
Oh yeah,
review.
oh yeah.